Well, we finally got him. Oh, man, it's been a while. They teased that it was coming, and we were ready for it when it came. The new Cavalry commanders are here. Gamchan, okay? He is going to be the field commander. Is he a Nevsky 2.0? We'll take a look at that with combo. And then we've got David the Fourth, Cavalry Garrison combo. They gave us both combo commanders, one for the field, who will be on the Wheel of Fortune, and the other will be in the Garrison, who will be an MG. So stick around, because we'll go through all these skills right here. Hey everybody, I'm your boy War Daddy Chatsky, and I put out videos all the time. And this is the video we've been waiting for. I have been waiting to do this, to go through these skills, to figure out exactly what's going on with these new commanders. As the game teased, they would be here on November 8th. It's November 8th. We get the commander, so let's talk about him. It's Gamchan, okay? Or we're going to call him Gamchan style, I guess. A Korean commander that is for the field. And this guy is rather interesting, so let's get right into it. We get a field commander whenever they release next generation commanders. Now, we already have a couple of special commanders with Achilles and Hector that just released in the game. And now we get the next generation of the cavalry cycle, okay? These are next gen commanders. And when we look at this, we're gonna go into the skills and I'm gonna read them with you. And we're gonna try to decipher them ourselves and figure it out. But here we go. Let's start out with the active skill for Gamchan, okay? When you look at this, the rage requirement is 1,000, okay? It's the Geometra charge, whatever, however we're going to pronounce that. But this is the active skill. You deal 2 combo attacks of 2,800 damage factor to a target. Now, the expertise will enhance this, and we'll get to that later. But for the next 5 seconds, this commander troop gains the Star Blessed effect. Cavalry units in the troop gain 5% health, they gain 5% defense, and increase the healing from the Starlight skill by 100%. Okay? Now, the Starlight skill has got a healing factor to it, and we'll get to that Starlight skill, but this is the active skill, 1,000 rage requirement, combo, it's a 2 combo attack, it's single target. Okay. So we got a field single target combo damage dealer. Could this be another Nevsky? And we all know what we did with Nevsky. Okay, so let's go on to the next skill. Okay, the second skill is gonna be, I can't even pronounce that. I have no idea what that is. But this commander's troops takes 10% less damage while on the map. That's always good. Less damage is great. And then cavalry units in their troop gains 20% march speed and 30% defense. Oh boy, cavalry loves defense. Okay, and so now we got a little bit of tankiness to go along with this. And if you come back to the active skill, when you are doing this, you're getting a health and defense bonus of 5%. Not huge, but we'll see how the expertise plays into that. So that's the second skill that we talked about, the damage reduction, cavalry march speed bonus of 20%, cavalry defense of 30%, which because of the gear for cavalry, the equipment cavalry has a lot of health. So defense is always almost as good as health when it comes to cavalry. Okay, cavalry, we always say cavalry commanders, and they love defense. If you give them defense, it really affects how effective they are. Okay, so the third skill is the Starlight. Okay, if this commander's troop is in the field, their troop deals 15% more normal damage. Beautiful. Okay, that's basic attack damage, counter attack damage. It's all the normal white numbers, and that enhances the combo attacks that he does, which is wonderful. Whenever their troop deals combo attack damage, it recovers a large portion of slightly wounded troops. 10% of the combo attack damage dealt. Okay, well, he's doing 2,800 damage. So now he's going to be healing, okay, or recovering troops. I guess that's healing. He's going to be healing what? 280 factor? A healing factor of 280? Is that basically what we're looking at? Okay. But in the Starlight effect, let's see here. You come back to his active skill. For the next 5 seconds, you gain the Blessed Effect. The Blessed Effect increases the healing of the Starlight by 100%. Okay. So what? That goes from 280% or 280 healing factor, and you increase that by 100%. What is that? 560 healing factor? Okay. So we got a healing cavalry commander. We haven't seen this since Pelagius. Holy cow. What are we doing here? Okay. Let's see here. Units healed by this skill cannot be healed by it again and cannot be severely wounded. From that standpoint, when we see this thing, as we're trying to figure this out, cannot be severely wounded, but can be slightly wounded until they return to their city. Okay, so the units healed by this skill cannot be healed by it again. Okay, so the units cannot be severely wounded. Okay, so do the units just never die, or they just go to slightly wounded? This is an interesting skill set. Now, when you get healed, typically you heal you heal either the slightly wounded or the sev wounded. This is saying you're healing sev wounded. And those troops cannot be severely wounded again, but they can be slightly wounded. Okay, so this is going to give us less deads when we're attacking structures, and it's going to give us less severely wounded in the field. That's how I read that. That's going to be interesting to try to figure out. That's one of those things that we'll go through. Of course, my crew and the whole 606 crew and Daver and all those guys, we're going to kind of go through this and figure this out. But right now, from what we know by the percentages that they give us, we got a healing factor of 560, okay, based on the active skill and that a Blessed Effect that's basically going to give this an enhancement. Okay, so let's go to the 4 skill. 4 skill is open the floodgates, baby. Whenever this commander's troops deals combo attack damage to a field troop, okay, so you're not dealing anything to the structure, it has a 30% chance to reduce the target's defense by 40%. Okay, we're reducing the target's defense by 40%. Guys, that's Nevsky 2.0. Single target cav commander, tanky, and now he's doing a defense debuff for 5 seconds of 40%, which is pretty considerable. Okay, so that can be good for swarming flags, but I guess this has to be a field troop. All right. So it explains down there at the bottom, a non-rallied or non-garrison troop on the map is considered a field troop. Okay. So a 30% chance to reduce the target's defense by 40%. Now, if you're running combo attack damage, you're running with multiple commanders that do combo, including Gamchan. And so from that standpoint, this is going to fire off pretty quickly because it's giving you a 30% chance. Plus, if you run Delta with Butterfly or Causative, you got even more of a chance. Okay, so that's going to have high uptime. And this effect can trigger up to 3 times in a single second? Huh? If you look at this, we're talking about the target. The target takes 40% less defense. You reduce the target's defense by 40% for 5 seconds. This effect can trigger up to 3 times in a single second. So there's a stack? So we can run the defense up to 80% or 120%, reduce the target's defense. This might be one of the biggest debuffs we've ever seen if that's the case. It can stack up to, or it can trigger up to 3 times in a single second, but it doesn't say the target. So this might be an AoE situation, and that's what I think it probably is. It's the same kind of situation we have when it comes to like Hector's enhancement of smite damage. You can trigger it up to 3 times, but it's basically the target, so the AoE target. So if you pair him with an AoE commander, he can trigger this up to 3 times in a single second, which basically means he can put the 40% defense debuff on 3 targets from an AoE paired commander, like Arthur, like Achilles. Okay, that makes sense. So the cooldown on that's 5 seconds, which is cool. I like that. Not a 10-second cooldown, and we can work with that. The expertise, okay? The great victory of Guiju. Let's just call it that. All right, this is an enhancement of the active skill. You're going to launch 2 combo attacks. Okay, now we're going to run the damage factor up to 1500. So we're doing 3000 damage on the target. Big time nuker. Big single target nuker. And then for the next 5 seconds, this commander troops gains the Star Blessed effect. Okay, so the cavalry units now get 10% defense and 10% health for the next 5 seconds. And wait a minute, increases the healing from the Starlight skill by 150%. Well, wait a minute. Now we're dealing with a 3,000 damage factor on the combo. And if we come over here to the Starlight, okay, the Starlight is going to heal 10% of the combo attack damage dealt. So 3,000, now 10% of that is 300. Okay, and now that is increased by 150. That's 600, that's 750 healing. 750? Okay, so if you're talking about healing, or if we're talking about shielding, or if we're talking about doing damage, there is a factor here. And the factor we see is a 3,000 damage factor that it does, plus a 750 healing factor. What? Big healer. Okay, and you get that every active skill for the next 5 seconds? Oh my gosh, okay. We're trying to figure this all out for the next 5 seconds. You got the Star Blessed effect and then the Starlight. Whenever you deal combo attack, it recovers a large portion of slightly wounded troops, 10%. And then when it goes into the effect of helping your severely wounded, that's really, really good. So we're going to have to figure out how that all works, and we will. But from what it looks like right now, this guy is a single target nuker, super tanky. Okay, he mitigates all damage. He gives you some health and defense. Now, his expertise is 10% and 10% for the next 5 seconds. He's got 40% health here. He does a healing factor, and you do 15% more normal damage. Okay, this guy's kind of a basic commander. Like, he's basically doing combo damage. Well, he's just doing damage. He's getting good stat sticks, 20% march speed, 30% defense, plus the stat sticks from the active skill, and he's taking 10% less damage. And in addition to that, he's going to do some healing. This is pretty simple. This might be the simplest commander we've had in a while. And then you've got open the floodgates on the 4th skill. You have a 30% chance to reduce the defense. That's a Nevsky debuff, y'all. Reducing defense of the target, that's easy. That's a Nevsky debuff. Okay, so he's debuffing the target, and that can proc up to 3 times. So if you're hitting 3 target AoEs or more, you can put that debuff into the field. Good debuff, 40% defense. Dynamite. So he's a debuffer. He's a big time single target damage dealer. He's got good stat sticks, and he heals. That's simple. This guy might be the most simple commander we've had in today's Rise of Kingdoms with all the complexities of commanders. Simple. I like it. Simple and easy. How much damage can he do and how effective will he be? You pair him with Achilles. You pair him with Attila. I mean, you got some chances to do some crazy stuff here. And so you also want to think about pairing him, because of this 4th skill, with an AoE commander like Achilles or Arthur. He could work out really, really well. Now, the one thing Nevsky did was he had skills that translated into a rally. This does not. The Starlight skill, as you can see here, okay, you have to be a field troop. You cannot be in a rally troop. The 4th skill, when this commander troop deals combo attack damage to a field troop, that's not a garrison, that's not a structure. So he's probably not going to be a rally. Now, we'll try him, but I don't think he's going to be a rally, okay? So that's our boy, Gamchan, and we'll get on with him. Here he is. Looks pretty cool if you ask me. That horse is bad, okay? And so from there, we'll go on to the Garrison commander. So hold on to your hats. Let's go to our boy, David IV. All right, he's going to have the Garrison tree, the combo tree, and the cavalry tree. Okay, pretty standard stuff when it comes to garrisons, but let's look at his skills. Here we go. The Wolf of Didgori, okay? This is an AoE effect as a, wait a minute, AoE effect as a Garrison commander, okay. Rage requirements 1,000, launches 2 combo attacks against up to 3 enemy troops and a fan. Okay, what kind of fan is that? How big is that fan? Is that a 180-degree fan, or is it like a YSS fan? Interesting. He does 1,400 damage times 2 times 3. So he's doing 2,800 damage to 3 targets. Every additional target, you reduce the damage by 15%. We know that. Immediately cleanses slow, poison, exhaust, or any other normal debuff. Effects from this commander's troops. For effects with multiple stacks, it cleanses 1 stack, okay? Interesting. Slow effects towards the bottom, you see number 2 there. Slow effects include effects that reduce the march speed of the troop. Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with it. He's in the garrison. Poison effects inflicted by Tamaris, also Herman, and you start peeling off one of those stacks. The exhaust effect inflicted by Chandra Gupta. Okay, yeah, nobody really uses Chandra anymore, but normal debuffs, including debuffs that reduce the target's attack, defense, health, or healing. Okay, we've got to pay attention to that because we've got some rally commanders that are debuffing all this different stuff. Okay, so I see what they're doing here. You're going to cleanse any of those debuffs. That is really, really good. We've had rally and garrison commanders that do that before. All right, let's go to his second skill. Valiant Manaspa, okay? This commander's cavalry units gain 35% defense. Oh, okay, stat stick, that's good. If they are serving as a garrison commander, their garrison takes 10% less skill damage. Okay, this is obviously going to be a counter to Shapur. Shapur is the archer commander. This is a counter to that. You're going to take 10% less skill damage, 35% defense, and your cavalry. Okay, you can kind of see where this is the counter to Shapur. All right, the third skill, if this commander is serving as a garrison commander, the garrison deals 10% more combo attack damage. Okay, I don't like this. I would rather have normal damage because you want to have something a little bit more prickly. You want to kick out counterattack damage. Well, 10% more combo attack damage, that's fine. That's fine, but that doesn't affect your counterattack. Combo attack damage increases don't affect your counterattack, okay? Let's go on to the next part of this. Whenever the garrison launches a basic attack, it deals combo attack damage to up to 3 nearby enemy troops at a damage factor of 200. Okay, so it's now doing more instant proc damage, okay? Cooldown 3 seconds. This guy is really simple too. Holy cow. Stat sticks, combo damage in an area of effect, and basically dispels any debuffs. Pretty simple stuff. I like this, okay? But from the standpoint of an instant proc, that cooldown is 3 seconds. You give combo commanders cooldowns of 3 seconds, they start firing that stuff off all the time. That can be very, very effective, okay? Let's go to his 4th skill. All right, his 4th skill, retaking the Caucasus, okay? Whenever this commander's troop uses an active skill while attacking a troop on the map, okay? A troop on the map can be a rally troop, okay? Because it's very generic. A troop on the map is a rally troop, or it can be a field troop. The target takes 40% more combo attack damage for the next 3 seconds. Holy jeez. Oh my gosh. I already know what we're gonna pair this guy with. The cooldown's 5 seconds, okay? So basically, you can run this particular 4th skill, depending on how slow your skill cycle is, it can go every skill cycle, 8 seconds. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work out. So from that standpoint, even if it fires off every other skill cycle, it's still massive. 40% more combo attack damage? You got Delta on that thing and you're enhancing combo attack boost? That could be pretty crazy. Okay, let's look. This is all really simple. I love these 2 commanders. They're so simple. All right, now let's go to the expertise. If this commander troop is serving as a garrison commander, the garrison takes 10% less damage. Great. All right, more tankiness. If its target has less than 50 units remaining, the garrison deals 5% more damage. Okay, I give that like an A- expertise. 10% less damage is always pretty good. But if its target has less than 50% units remaining, we've seen this with Gorgo, we've seen this with Attila on a rally or a garrison with Attila, you're actually going to do more damage, or you're going to inflict more normal damage dealt. You're going to do different things with that 50% units remaining from the target. Okay, so you're going to do this naturally do more damage. This guy is pretty simple, and with the stat sticks and the amount of damage he does, I mean, I love an AoE garrison commander. I freaking love it. And I think this is going to turn into something interesting. Okay, so David the Fourth, and we can talk about pairs just real quick. Okay, that's what we'll get into next. Here's our boy Gamchan. Okay, big time single target damage dealer. Let's look at this. When it comes to cavalry in the field, there's multiple commanders you can put him with. Obviously, Arthur can be primary with this guy secondary. All right, you can also put him with Attila at primary with that guy secondary. You can put him with Achilles primary with him secondary, and then you can put him primary with, well, you can put him primary with Achilles, and you can also put him primary with Hector. How is that going to work? So now Hector does combo damage and enhances normal damage. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with Hector when it comes to this. So we all know this. He does combo attacks up to 1400. That's a lot of damage factor, single target. That could be a single target nuker. And then he's got some different enhancements to combo attack damage. He does more combo attacks, which is good. And then he does enhancement to normal damage, which is pretty good. So you could use Gamchan with Arthur primary, or you can use him behind Attila, or you can use him with Achilles, either in front or behind Achilles. We can kind of figure that thing out. But that's kind of what we're looking at for the pairings of Gamchan, okay? And these are just easy pairings we're getting into, just talking briefly about them. But let's come over here and talk about the Garrison, okay? The Garrison, obviously with the skills that they have with AoE, you want to enhance the combo damage, okay? We know who does that, all right? You want to have more defense, that's good. He does combo on his third skill. He does combo attack damage increase. He doesn't do normal damage increase. So that's kind of interesting. And then when you come in here and you look at this, you're going to need some prickliness somewhere. You're going to need him to kick back because there's no counterattack damage anywhere. He's just enhancing combo attack. But on his fourth skill, whenever you use an active skill while attacking a troop on the map, the target takes 40% more combo damage. If the target takes 40% more combo damage, that's just based off an active skill. So if Attila is primary, he doesn't have to do combo damage. He just does his active skill. And then you inflict this on the target. And then that target takes 40% more combo attack damage. Boom, while you fire off his active skill. And then, of course, the expertise. Okay, let's think about this for a minute. Because there's really only two pairs that I see this guy with. All right? We're going to get rid of the days of Hera. We're not going to mess with Hera. He does skill damage, not messing with it, okay? Hector has been a really interesting surprise that he is arriving as like the infantry kind of meta with Gorgo. We've seen it, we're already seeing it in KVK. He does smite damage. And so we know he's got functionality in the Garrison just because he can do it with infantry. He does it with Gorgo monotroop. And if you ever want to run infantry mixed, like we used to run Xeno YSS back in the day, this dude's incredible. He's insanely better than Hera. Running mixed with an infantry bent to it is phenomenal. That is great. So can he do the same thing for cavalry? Do you go put Justinian primary and run this guy secondary? Maybe you do. I mean, he does combo damage, and he does a lot of combo damage factor. Okay, he's going to run that combo damage factor up to 2,800, the exact same as David the Fourth. Okay, so, and you can run him with mixed troops. Hey, yo! You run him with mixed troops, he gets tankier. You run him single troop type, you've got more damage. Wow, okay. So we're going to have to check out Hector, and then we're going to have to check out Attila. And I can already kind of picture this. Now, we got to go through this. We got to test it. We got to do all the things that we do. We got to look at the damage factor, look at all the numbers. We're going to go through all that. But you want a prickly Garrison while doing AoE combo damage, you put this homeboy in front of this guy. We all know about it. You have to run it monotroop type. We all know about Attila primary in a Garrison. With artifacts, he's amazing with Gorgo, okay? And we know that he can enhance with the normal damage. The normal damage is going to give you so much of that counterattack too. And it's going to give a bonus to all that combo damage. And then you know what this guy does. Of course, the second skill doesn't even work, okay? But he's going to take less skill damage, all right? But you're dealing less skill damage. You don't even care. You're doing combo. And you got the awesome fourth skill that just does 100%, up to 100% all damage bonus. This is crazy. And so those are two easy commanders you can look at for the Garrison. So that's who we got. We got so much more to talk about, so much more to test, but here are our boys. We got David the Fourth, Cavalry Garrison combo, and then we've got Gamchan, okay? Gamchan style. Let's go. Gamchan is going to be the field troop. We're going to kind of figure this out. And without being an AoE commander, I know the question's already going to be asked. Is he better than Achilles? Well, I'm running Achilles right now, and Achilles is pretty broken in the field. Okay, but if you're going all in on Cavs and you want to run more combo marches, this guy is going to be a single target nuker. He's got a great tankiness about him, and he does those effects. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please throw a thumbs up on it. Give it a whirl to subscribe. We're growing the subscription base way up there, approaching 60,000. Click that button. And if you want alerts when I put out videos like this, click that alert bell and get those alerts when they happen. And with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the first look of these commanders. We'll talk more about them, but wanted to get this video out, go through their skills, and we talk about it together. So with all that being said, we hope you guys have a great evening, great morning, or great afternoon, wherever you are. We'll see you, broskies.